On this episode of BTV, we talk about the location change of Starbucks, the annual senior job fair, and the new end of the year celebration. All of this and more on this episode of BTV. Welcome back to this episode of BTV. I'm your anchor, Citlali Martinez.
And I'm your co-anchor, Alex Barker.
With the end of the year in sight, Starbucks will soon be relocating. Reporter Shireen Harris tells us more about the changes taking place.
I love Starbucks.
Since the new Southeast building opened in 2016, the school store has had many different locations.
And originally it started in the main cafeteria, and then we moved up to F203 in the second floor.
But soon both the store and Starbucks will have a new location.
Now we are actually getting ready to move down back to the first floor, but to the concession stand area.
As the shop switches sites, other improvements will also come into play.
We are trying to get more food items for our students, but also keep upgrading the better quality of our drinks, including our coffee and lemonades. We'll actually get it moved towards the end of the year, but the remodeling and all items will happen during the summer. So when you guys return in fall of 2024, you're going to see a brand new, different location of Starbucks.
Most people we talk to are looking forward to the change.
I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference considering that Starbucks is still known as Starbucks. People will still want to go to Starbucks, so I think it's fine.
I feel like some people are going to be confused, like they're going to try and come upstairs and then be like, oh, they switched locations. So I think it's just going to be a bit to get used to.
I mean, it would be good for them to change locations, so getting it out, their business out, and also supporting the school, having more supporters for the school. So I think it's honestly a great idea.
Make sure to show your support for Starbucks next year. For BTV, I'm Shireen Harris.
Thanks, Shireen. Be sure to follow the Starbucks Instagram page for updates.
Wichita Public Schools held their annual senior job fair on Tuesday, April 16th. Reporter Tanika Thompson was there.
This is the third year that Wichita Public Schools has hosted their senior job fair.
So the senior job fair is designed for seniors who are planning to go directly into the workforce full-time once they graduate from high school. Looking at students' individual plans of studies across the district, we found that about a third of our students plan to work full-time once they graduate. And so we then make a connection with business and industry.
The job fair connects seniors with companies hiring full-time employees.
I think it'll really put me out there, try and connect with people and try and get a job that I'd actually like.
I mean, that's the primary focus of myself and my team, is to help as many individuals as we can live better lives in our community. And so this event allows us to do that. I mean, it allows us to specifically engage with young people or their parents, if their parents are at different functions that we're at, and help them understand resources that are available in the community to help them in areas where they may need assistance.
There are a variety of different businesses and government organizations at the job fair.
With our amazing educational benefits that we offer, we interest them because not being able to pay for school is what people have run into, and so they're not able to have schooling paid for.
But the job fair is helping seniors for next year. Look out for the next job fair. For BTV, I'm Tanika Thompson.
Thanks, Tanika. If you're an upcoming senior planning on going directly into the workforce, make sure to attend next year's job fair.
Southeast will be hosting its first ever end of the year celebration at the former Southeast building. I explained how this event came to fruition. The parade was first brought up by Principal Cooper and Counselor Shanita Ross.
The purpose of this event is to build a connectedness between Southeast High School and the community we serve. Just going back and giving back and letting the community know that we are not gone.
This event will consist of games, food, and music.
We're going to have a cakewalk. We're also going to have a dunk tank, pull-up bar. So it's starting to come together. And then we also have staff that's volunteering to do other things.
The Southeast administration hopes to continue this in the future.
It's definitely an event that I think could really just take off through the years. Just each year just get bigger and bigger.
For BTV, I'm Citlali Martinez Hernandez.
Be sure to stop by the AMAC building on Friday, May 24th for the celebration.
Have you heard about the possibility of TikTok being banned? Reporter Paige Klarman fills us in.
People we spoke to don't know much about the actual bill that could end up banning TikTok in the U.S.
No, I've never heard of this ban, and this is the first time I've ever heard of this.
I heard about a few things about it, but I just don't know about it.
TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and there are many concerns about the security of U.S. citizens' data. This bill wouldn't ban the app outright, but it would require a parent's company, ByteDance, to sell it to a U.S. company. Otherwise, TikTok will face a total ban. Many students don't like the idea of TikTok being banned.
Yeah, I have a bunch of videos on there saved and favorited. I don't want to lose all those videos, so.
People have concerns beyond the fact TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and they have issues with social media in general.
There's always going to be some other platform. The real concern that you really need to be thinking about as your young minds are still developing is you're training your attention span. And if you're constantly getting bored after a couple of seconds, think about how that's going to affect the way that you interact with the rest of the world, because the rest of the world is pretty boring.
Students we talked to said they would just switch to a similar platform for entertainment.
YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
I'm gonna stick to Instagram too, because similar to TikTok, but yeah, I'm gonna be on Instagram and YouTube a lot more now.
For BTV, I am Paige Klarman.
Thanks, Paige. President Biden recently signed a defense bill that includes similar language requiring TikTok to be sold or face a ban, although that wouldn't happen for at least another year.
On April 12th, Southeast held a seed planting event with about 85 volunteers aiming to help the community. Agriculture students spent time preparing cardboard tubes beforehand. The seeds will be used by the city for a variety of purposes.
Once we get the seeds planted, the city is going to take them back to their greenhouses and grow them out. And then they're either going to do some more plantings with us out in parks, or they are going to give them out in free tree giveaways.
On April 20th, Buffs at Work held their second color run. People from the community came out for the 1.5-mile run, outdoor games, petting zoo, and food. The weather was a little cold, but the event still went off as scheduled.
Youth entrepreneurs held their spring market day on April 24th. Students created their own businesses to sell to students and staff. Then they would get to keep the profit. Some food that were sold were Alfredo, carne asada taco, and fries, dessert tacos, fried rice, and egg rolls.
LAC teamed up with Share Tea on April 26th to have a boba sale during lunch. They sold taro milk tea, classic black milk tea, and mango and passion fruit tea for $7. They raised around $250 to donate within the community.
Now on to William Sandlin with the sports.
Welcome back to the Sportscast. I'm your sports anchor, William Sandlin, and let's get straight on into the spring sports highlights. Soccer is currently 3-9 with one tie. On April 30th, they traveled all the way to Great Bend and won 5-2. Goals from Caleb Methman, Aurora Delgado, Yotosi Jadeda, and Addison Johnson. Boys soccer news: Muela Abendella has signed to Tabor University on April 24th. Congrats and good luck. Track at the East Relay meet, both of the 4x8 teams earned a medal. The boys team of Evan Crossman, Jaden Pollard, Adrian Price, and TJ Pollard placed first, and the girls team of Christy Dung, Martina Gonzalez, Summer Saith, and Mia McCormick placed second. At the Hutchinson Invitational, Juwan Colbert placed second in both the 100 and 200 meter dash. The boys 4x1 team took second, and the 4x8 team took third. The swim and dive team senior night was on March 23rd. This year's seniors are Katie Kane, Rico Sukta, and Salome Natajville. At the meet, the girls placed second in the 400-yard freestyle relay and the 200-yard medley relay. Stephanie Fernandez placed third and in the 50-yard freestyle. Tennis competed at the G-Wall on April 29th. The doubles team consisting of Vin Bowie and Jaden Parkinam placed third in the number one doubles. We will have results from the regionals in the next episode. Baseball is currently 3-10. They had a big win over South 10-0 on April 23rd. They also won the first doubleheader game against Garden City 5-4 on April 26th.
Softball is still looking for their first win. Unfortunately, in their recent games on April 22nd against Topeka Highland, they lost 18-3. They will play Heights on May 2nd and West on May 7th and Mays on May 10th.
On April 22nd, the golf team placed second at the Invitational at Auburn Hills. They were led by Logan Lamb's first place, Jacob Brannon, Lucky Hong, Tyler Kongshi, and Ryan. Then, on the 29th at McDonald Golf Course, they placed second overall and were led by Brennan Bean, Logan, and Tyler. At Nationals in Sandy, Utah, the archery team took 9th in the 3D division and 18th in the bullseye division. Kamari Kingston took 4th individually with 271 points in the 3D division. That's it for the Sportscast. Back to you, Lolly and Alex.
Thanks, William.
That's all for this episode of BTV. We'll leave you with some extended highlights of the baseball team's recent shutout win over South.
Coming!